All right, guys, welcome to a weekly trading recap. So I think this is my first video on weekly recaps, but I hope everything goes well and smooth. But this week we managed to win 2 trades and we took 1 loss, and I would just get to explaining quickly. But on Monday we did not take a trade because we had no setup. I don't think there was news on Monday, or maybe there was, but I ended up not taking a trade on that day because I didn't really see anything. But on Tuesday, we managed to take a trade, and this was on S&P or SPX, whatever you want to call it. I think people also call it ES, or yeah, whatever. But in my opinion, call it whatever you want to call it. As long as it means, what it is, then you're good. So, yeah. So before market opening, I always like to look at the charts, and I think everybody should look at the charts before market opening to see, what your bias is going to be. But I've been using CRT lately, and in my opinion, I think this has kind of fixed where, and it kind of taught me how bias wants to play out. Especially when you're going, to take a trade, you want to go in the high time frame to see what, price is wanting to do or wanting to tap into certain areas of the chart as for liquidity or just whatever your strategy is. But this was the CRT for the previous day, which was Monday, this high to this low. So market opening or before market opening, we managed to tap into this low here. So what this means is that we are expecting price to kind of reject off that. So if I scale to the 4-hour, you could see, let's see, where's the Tuesday? Okay, so the Tuesday, this is even better on the 4-hour. You could see that this could also be a liquidity sweep because we swept this low here. And on top of that, we have a whole bunch of fair value gaps, and it's kind of like a BPR here at this case. Technically it is, but we sweep a liquidity here on the 4-hour. 1-hour, we also sweep a liquidity. So obviously I think everybody should be, oh wait, let me go back. Okay, right over here. But obviously I think everybody should have been, kind of wanting to take a long off this liquidity sweep or this area. So going on to the 5-minute, actually, oh my god, my dog is barking, bro. All right, so going on to the 5-minute, we could see that we wanted to, oh wait, first things first, we had news on that day, which is at 7 o'clock. So we waited till news dropped, but honestly, the 7 o'clock news didn't do anything. As you can see, not much here. And then as for the 5-minute, you can see we've created a 5-minute fair value gap here. Just looking at what price wanted to do, it really didn't do much because we were consolidating at that area. But what I was, and why I decided to enter, Jesus, bro, what is my stuttering? I think I got a serious stuttering problem, bro. But why I wanted to enter is because of the low time frame liquidity. So we have a liquidity here. Technically, we could have drawn it here. But you can see at this point, we tap into this liquidity and we close above. So in my opinion, I think we were going bullish. On top of that, we had a lot of fair value gaps. The main fair value gap that really got respected was this area. We never closed below and we always rejected. So after seeing that, this break of structure right over here, we close above. I enter off here, have stops below the 5-minute, and then as for take profit, it is, dude, I hate how it always goes back to like default position. Pisses me off. This was the TP. I took TP here and then I also let it run a little higher. So we made a little bit. I think I should close a little below this because I was initially, my TP was here, but I just wanted to play the safe card because you know, sometimes that doesn't happen, right? So yeah, I closed most of my positions at this high, but ideally you could have had a TP here, but the risk to reward is not great, so I chose right over here, which was honestly not bad because of liquidity here, and on top of that there was a lot of 1 hour fair value gaps from this point wanting to be tapped into, and then you could see rejection off that. So that was my Tuesday trade. Let's go on to our Wednesday trade. All right, so this is the Wednesday trade that we took on the 28th of August. There was no news on that day, so it was a pretty simple trade, but I'm not gonna explain it on the chart. I already have it on Notion, so let me just get to explaining over here. So looking at this chart, you could see that we didn't really get much. On the day we swept these highs, so in my opinion, I thought we were gonna definitely go lower, but it was honestly a weird situation that occurred because market opening, we pushed into this high, swept this high, and usually, like I said, what happens with price is that, or what TJR said, and it kind of helped me in this case, I guess, is that when market opening, you kind of want to wait 15 to 30 minutes to see where price wants to tap into, and usually it targets liquidity. So when it targets liquidity at the market opening, it's going to want to reverse back down to kind of target the opposite liquidity. So in this case, what he stated is that market open, we tapped into this liquidity, which in this case we kind of should have shorted, but we didn't. And just price was kind of funky and like just consolidating a shit ton. So in my opinion, I thought that we swept this high, okay, but then we came down to sweep this low, and then we came back up, and then we swept this low again, and then from that I was pretty, I guess you could say, bullish, but I should have waited for more confluences. But on the 1 minute, you can see I drew EQ. We broke a structure to the 1 minute, and then we continued up, creating a 1 minute EQ. On top of that, we had fair value gaps on the 1 minute. So the one that I took was this one right over here, and we got stopped out really fast, like really fast, after like a couple minutes or a couple seconds, I guess. Entry was here, and then we just plummet to the stop loss, which was crazy. But overall, that was a pretty bad trade. What we can learn from that is be patient. On NASDAQ, we had way better price action, way better reactions, more confluences. Should have looked at that too, instead of just tunnel visioning to S&P. But overall, it happens. What can you do? Make sure you just remember it for next time and learn from your mistakes. But this was a Thursday trade right over here, which was on NASDAQ. We had news, unemployment claims, and unemployment claims. I actually have like the worst win rate on unemployment claims. So in my opinion, I was kind of, a little skeptical on this trade, but we ended up winning. So let me just get explaining. So Wednesday, close on the daily candle, draw CRT from this high to this low. We managed to come down and sweep it. So scale down to the 1 hour. There's really no liquidity, like really no liquidity on the 1 hour. You could just see price just wanting to go up. So in my opinion, you kind of want to just see what low time frame might want to do. So I went to the 5 minute, or you could say 15 minute. Let's see what there was on that 15 minute. I don't really look at the 15 minute because in my opinion, I guess it's not that useful to me. But I think everybody should use like every time frame if they can possibly, I should not use every time frame, but you should use like a certain specific time frame, like the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1 minute, or maybe like something different. But in my opinion, I think from the 5-minute I saw something better. All right, so right over here, after we swept liquidity right over here, I was pretty bullish, but I wanted to wait for one more confirmation, which was this fair value gap right over here, because initially we could have came up here after reacting off here, and then we could have rejected off this initial fair value gap, but I waited for the closure to see what I wanted to do, and it closed above. So in my opinion, I was pretty bullish after that, even more. So scale down to the 1 minute. Let's see what we could have used to enter, or what we did to enter. Right over here, let's see. So after this closure, we create a EQ, we break a structure to the upside. On top of that, we create a fair value gap here. And initially, this is where our entry is, around this area. And our stops are below this 5-minute fair value gap. Our take profit is right over here, above this high, or at this CRT on the daily, and boom, that was a simple trade. On top of that, we also have a fair value gap here. So overall, in my opinion, this was a pretty simple trade. We did kind of reject up and down, and you know, it was kind of consolidating, but overall we had the bias right. So that's what it really mattered. And yeah, in my opinion, this was probably the cleanest trade I've had in a while, because we did sweep these 5-minute liquidity, and on top of that, we rejected off the 15-minute and the 5-minute. So that just gave me more confidence that we wanted to go tap into these highs. So yeah, pretty simple. But overall, we are up 2K in the week, which is great, because if you guys didn't see my last video already, I'm in an unfortunate spot, but I managed to come back a little. I'm not gonna say exactly what I'm at right now, but you know, what I just said is that you guys can look at the last video and kind of, I don't know, do your subtraction or addition to how much I'm at right now on the funded. But yeah, so that was my weekly recap. I hope you guys like it, but I'll be making more weekly recaps, and I'm not gonna be making dailies, because dailies don't do shit for me, and I think putting it all into one video and explaining what my strategy was is way better than just having one video for one trade. But maybe in the future, when I'm popular or whatever shit occurs, you know, I'll be posting more daily, because people want to look up to my trading. But we're not there yet. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys like it, and peace out.